It feels like it's been an eternity since we got the Final Fantasy VII Remake revealed at E3 2015, which was half a goddamn decade ago. But here we are now, playing the Final Fantasy VII Remake. So how does a remake for one of the greatest games of all time hold up today? Well, let's find out. Hi guys, this is DPX, reviewing today the Final Fantasy VII Remake. Before we get started, you know what to do. Be sure to like this video, subscribe for new turn on notifications, and leave a comment, and you'll be a loyal subscriber.
Hey, how the hell do we fight this thing?
It's got reinforced armor plating, but the internals can be overloaded. Lightning magic.
No other.
Now, it is worth noting that this is a complete remake of the original Final Fantasy VII in terms of how it plays. I'll get into other terms later. So, gameplay-wise, it's pretty much an entirely new game, and a really good one. A lot of the time, you'll be running around trying to get from one objective to the other, and enemies sometimes appear, and other times you'll have to fight bosses like a house, or as you see here, a giant enemy crab. I also must add that there are other side things you do to progress the story, which sounds like I should be talking about in the story segment, but it is a part of the gameplay in a way. Stuff like collecting flowers. It'll make more sense with context. Which it sounds like it should be a disruption to the game and the gameplay and the story and everything, but it isn't. I don't know, it just didn't bother me that much. You also got spells like fire, thunder, there's a healing spell, there's like a barrier. You got abilities, so like each character has their own abilities that you can select by pressing X. And you have your limit, which I'm sure you know if you played the original Final Fantasy VII or even Smash. But if not, it's this meter that charges over time while in a fight. I must say that the gameplay is very smooth.
Hey. So, what did you want to talk about?
Final Fantasy, not just 7, but the whole franchise, has its fair share of likable, memorable, and awesome characters. In 7 specifically, there are 4 separate characters you get to play as. You got the main character, Cloud Strife, who is an ex-first-class soldier who has a bit of an attitude, and he might also be one of my favorite video game characters ever. We got Barrett, who is big and likes to talk, and I mean, there's another descriptive word I was going to use that I didn't want to say. We got Tifa, who is this kick-ass chick, and we got Aerith, who is sort of Cloud's girlfriend when they meet along the way, but also not really at all boyfriend and girlfriend. I don't know, it's strange to describe. You just have to see for yourself. Each of them have their own attributes when it comes to fighting and the gameplay. Cloud is a good all-round character with his sword, Barrett is good for long range with his gun hand thingy, Tifa is good for close range, and Aerith is good for healing. There's also characters that you don't play as, but they are, you know, important and likable. Characters like Wedge, my boy, Biggs, or Jesse are all pretty cool. The cast of characters is well balanced and well likable, and I like it. Final Fantasy VII might be the most story-driven game I've ever reviewed on this channel, aside from Kingdom Hearts 3, I guess. I won't be going into any spoilers, so feel free to keep watching. Also, earlier when I said in terms of gameplay, and I said I'll get into other terms later on, well, in terms of story, it's not quite a complete remake. This isn't a flaw or anything by any means, as it's just too big for one game. But the game I'm reviewing right now covers the Midgar section, which is like half the game. The other half, let's hope it doesn't take as long to come out as this one did. But to talk about this now, there are some narrative issues I have here. Nothing I want to get into, but some choices are made in the story that kind of had me scratching my head. That's a minor complaint though. It doesn't affect my experience with the game that much, and the story is still pretty solid. There are other things I want to talk about that don't really take up a whole segment. First, the game's visuals are gorgeous. Second, the soundtrack is filled with awesome remixes of the original game's soundtrack, including a remix of Let the Battles Begin, which you've been hearing for the whole video. There is also this really cool biking segment of the game that I forgot to mention earlier, and that is also a lot of fun. I have another very minor complaint though, and that's something I get annoyed at when it happens in other games too. And that's the camera angles. Sometimes it's just all over the place. Luckily though, I haven't had that problem in this as much as I did in other games. But it's just a minor complaint.
Beta level security disengaged.
Wow! Think we've got this?
Hell yeah, bring it on! Ain't nothing I love more than sticking it to Shinra.
If there's anything I can really say about the Final Fantasy VII Remake, it's that it is nothing short of spectacular and well worth the wait. Jeez, though, I feel like I've been waiting forever. While the Resident Evil 2 Remake told me how different a remake could be, and also how fucking awesome a remake could be, Final Fantasy VII further enforces that notion. I give Final Fantasy VII Remake a 9.5 out of 10. It is stellar. I love it. Maybe even later on, when I have more time to reflect, and maybe if I even play through it again, maybe I could bump up the rating. But those minor complaints, you know, they are still in place. Anyways, that was this review. Was I being a little too nice? I saw a lot of people didn't like this game as much as I did. I really like it though. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Be sure to like this video, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Goodbye.